The 9th round of the 2010 ARLA Thunder Trucks campaign took place at the Delaware International Speedway in Delaware. Aaron Cruz won the pole in his number 44 with Wyatt Dyers in the 65 on his outside, but Dyers falls back on the start a little bit. Ihaxu in the 1337 peeks to the inside of Cruz, but Cruz is going to shut the door going into turn 3. The first caution flew only 5 laps into the race. Jacob Eichholz pushes Svetislav Ilko into the 0-0 of Norman Lebold and Matthias McMahon. Lebold goes up into the wall, but he will continue. In the meantime, Matthias McMahon, after the initial contact with the 95, dives way low, but bounces up into Alley Riggs. He collects David Rizia and Zach Gott in the process. Rizia will go out of the race. After the restart, Aaron Cruz pulls away from the field. There you see Tristan Roberts, Vinny Enzo, and Lawrence Burr briefly went 3 wide there. But several laps later, the leaders are going to encounter the now slow car of Matthias McMahon. This opens the door for Michael White, Scott Dollitz, and Landon Rohde in the 003. And then Cruz dives to the inside to avoid losing any more positions. Michael White, Landon Rohde, and Scott Dollitz were able to stay ahead of the pack and battle for the lead amongst themselves, but Aaron Cruz quickly caught back up to them. But a little while later, Matthias McMahon gets in the way again, and once again, Aaron Cruz is his victim. Landon Rohde gets away with the lead with Laura Cyrus and Ansgar Clemens in second and third. Here is a better view of Clemens back in the 45 this week after sustaining injuries in the qualifying race at Quincy, and he's picked up right where he left off. He's been very fast all season, and now he is running in third. Kyle Eckerton was also injured in a wreck at Quincy, and he's back this week, and he is also running up inside the top 10, so he hasn't lost any speed. He currently battles the 263 of Vinny Enzo. Matthias McMahon not only gets in the way for a third time, he also triggers the second caution by sliding up into the 50 of Laura Cyrus and spinning down the track. The officials called him to the hauler for his impeding and driving right up into Cyrus. I wonder where his spotter was. Landon Rohde led everyone down pit road during that caution, but Laura Cyrus beat him out of the pits and led on the restart, and she gets a nice jump as well. Cyrus has had a pretty decent pace all year, but doesn't have the results to back that up, mainly due to bad luck. Here is Edwin Schwartzlowski making his ARLA Thunder Trucks debut in the number 64, replacing the ejected Benji Flynn. Schwartzlowski actually lost his right arm a few years ago, but he's been a dominant force on the European road racing circuit, which prompted M&J Racing to put him in an ARLA ride as soon as possible. He's actually going to the 66 car in the Elite Series full-time next year, replacing the retiring Jeb Klinger. Caution number 3 flew when Alley Riggs gets into the 03 of Mitchell Hill, coming off of turn 4, spinning the 03 to the inside. I think that looked more than a little intentional. Riggs did restart in 5th and then dropped like a rock through the field, so maybe she did this because she wanted a yellow. The officials thought the same and called her to the hauler. While coming to the yellow, Kyle Eckerton has apparently had enough of Matthias McMahon's lack of speed and turns him to the inside. McMahon bounces back up into traffic, and a big pileup ensues going into turn 1. Wyatt Dyers is involved, Laura Cyrus, Lawrence Burr, Justin Parker, Alex Graff was in there. Let's take another look at this, focusing on Tristan Roberts. Graff spins out in front of him, he has nowhere to go. There's Toby Armstrong and Michael White. Here come a few other cars barreling in. Matt Pearson, Ansgar Clemens, and Zach Gott. They all pile in. Now let's shift our focus to Ansgar Clemens, who slides up into Justin Parker and then gets hammered by Zach Gott. Clemens had to miss the last race, and this is not going to help him rebound. Casey Campbell in the 10 leads on the restart with Earl McDermott right behind her. Campbell is expected to be back in that 10 truck last year. Griesberger Racing has apparently decided that she's not quite ready for an Elite Series ride yet. You probably saw Zach McCormick, her teammate, holding up traffic. He restarted 5th in line, but he is a lap down, and you can see why. He is way off the pace. Kyle Eckerton gets stuck behind the 99, opening up the door for Ronald Porter and Wyatt Dyers. Speaking of Dyers, he gets involved in the 4th yellow. 4 wide doesn't work here at Dover, and Dyers, Scott Dollitz, and Holden Roberts find that out. Dyers and Roberts are sent spinning to the inside, but they will both continue. Landon Rhodey led on the restart. He was second in points going into the Quincy race, but he failed to qualify, and he's been trying to fight his way back to the top of the charts ever since. Here comes Brian McGinnis in the 8 to challenge Rhodey for the lead. McGinnis hasn't really made a whole lot of noise all season, and now he's about to be challenged by Phineas Marshall, who has made a lot of noise this season. He currently leads the points. Apparently, the drivers have not learned their lesson about going 4 wide here. Norman Lebold sends Holden Roberts across Roger Rabett's nose, turning both cars into the inside wall. Armand Mitra in the 200 for Michael White Racing has not been up near the front all race, but now he's starting to make a charge in the closing laps. Here he is putting some pressure on race leader Vinny Enzo, and a little while later, here comes Mitra to challenge Enzo for the lead, and he will take it. Caution number 6 was triggered when Phineas Marshall slides up into Brian McGinnis, collecting Mario Franchetti and sending all 3 cars spinning to the inside. Marshall and McGinnis continue, but Mario Franchetti gets stuck on the apron. There were only 6 laps to go when the race restarted. Armand Mitro is the leader, with Vinny Enzo in second and Kyle Eckerton in third. However, Enzo's quest for the victory is going to come to an end when Ally Riggs gets into Edwin Schwartzlowski going into turn 1 and bounces up into the 263. You're going to see Michael White clip the 219 and go sliding up into the wall. Here's another shot of that. White just clips the 219, but that's enough to destroy both cars and take them out of the race. The officials were already unhappy with Ally Riggs today, so I think we can expect a penalty of some sort. But in the meantime, the race ended under yellow, and Armand Mitro will take his first ARLA Thunder Trucks victory.